The F is going on here? Yo! What is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? I got to get my screen right, y'all. Hold on. Yo! What is the deal, everybody? Salutations, everybody. Yeah, had a little computer trouble. I am so sorry for that, y'all. Yo, hey, matter of fact, do me a favor. Block Reese Rock and block Anthony, too. Get him the F up out of here. Shout out to everybody. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my guy, Teaser, my guy, Roshak, Dolph. Man, my guy, Graph is in the place. Oh, man, let me tell y'all something, man. Everybody's in the place. Cisco Duarte is in the place. Shalib is in the place. Oh, my God. Space Beast. Everybody is in the effing place. Yeah, yo, LV. It's nasty work today, man. I don't know what the F has been going on with the technology around here, man. But the technology is in, man, we are in trouble here with this technology. Yes, that's the tease. I need a tech guy speed dial, man. It's crazy, man. But listen, man, there is a lot going on in Raider Nation. There's a lot going on. Listen, we got some top 30 visits coming. You know, the offseason program has started for a lot of the Raiders. All of our veteran Raiders are in the place to be. Everybody is looking like they're as excited for the season, if not more than we are. Shout out to the 175 of you guys in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend and tell a friend. But, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. It has been sick and silly. It has been crazy out there with this Raider news, and we're going to get into a lot of it, man. I mean, guys, first and foremost, right, let's talk about the vets, man. You know, a bunch of the vets showed up at voluntary OTAs. You know, there's a story on Raiders.com, and our team leader, Maxx Crosby, was in the place to be. 5:40 a.m., man. Sky's still dark. Max is the first one there, last to leave. Key veterans that rolled in, Christian Wilkins, Malcolm Koonce. That's a big one. Those two guys are coming off of injuries. Those are humongous pieces of this team that is showing up and showing that commitment. Jakobi Meyers, of course. Geno Smith in a place to be. Jakorian Bennett, A.J. Cole, and many more. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. It seems like the vets are buying in, man. And they're putting in that extra time way before the season. This is something that should get everybody excited, man. Now, you know, a lot of this stuff has to do with, to me, man, the culture and the belief behind Pete Carroll being in the building, the belief of Tom Brady, and everybody kind of getting on the same sheet of music with Max, man. I mean, I am loving it right now, man. I am loving it, man. I mean, leading by example. All of the big names of this team are showing up and leading by freaking example, and it is an amazing thing, man. Amazing thing, man. But I'm telling y'all right now, man. Look, the Geno Smith signing and that extension was a major, major move for the Raiders, man. And the Raiders, doing what they did kind of opened them up to leave everything open for us. And I've been saying this every day, man. But, the top 30 visits kind of open up the door. Like, I think this is the first time in a long time when I'm going into this Raider draft where I really don't have any clue who they're going to draft, what they're going to do, how it's going to go. But the Raiders have a group of top 30 visits today. LSU's offensive tackle, Will Campbell, is in the place to be. Ole Miss quarterback, Jackson Dart. And that's a big one. I want to get into that. Yesterday, Quinn Ewers came in. Mason Graham came in. Will Howard. That right there is one that I want to talk about. And I don't know if any of you guys caught Will Howard on Gruden's QB camp. Man, but you know what, man? Look, I would not be mad if that man was sitting there waiting for the Raiders to draft, man, in the second or the third round, man. I am a big believer in Will Howard, man. Of course, Austin Gentry came in. Josiah Stewart, outside linebacker for Vegas. Now, Josiah Stewart is an interesting one, right? Because he's an undersized pass rusher. He is a guy that kind of fits the same archetype as Malcolm Koonce, Michigan guy. He can play with his hand off the ground. He can play out there, as a linebacker. And let me tell you something about him, man. He's a kid that I would hate to see wind up with the Rams, man, because I got a feeling, Jim Harbaugh needs to kind of re-up some of those pass rushers there, man. He definitely needs to. He's got a bunch of guys that are long in the tooth, a bunch of old guys there. So, man, I'm going to tell you like this, man. I don't want to see Michigan get any of his Michigan guys, man. Jim, get any of his Michigan guys. My guy Rorschach with the first super of the day. Wasted and grabbed. Shared a Starlink Wi-Fi, and Elon is not playing. You guys have been hacked by Doge. All kidding aside, love the content, brother. Appreciate you, man. Hey, man, it's a possibility, man. We're doing big things over here on Twitter, yo. And shout out to everybody that's on Twitter watching us on YouTube. Shout out to everybody who's watching us over on Twitter. Let me tell you something. We have cookies, everybody, and appreciate all of y'all for pulling up. My God, Space Beast, I love our top 30s except Ewers. Bro, you can't, Space Beast, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. When you start thinking top 30 visits, right, you have to view it from the prism of this. Who's available at the crucial times at the beginning of the draft, right? Now, Ewers might not be a guy that you take in the first round, right? You got Geno Smith, that might not be the guy you take in the first round. But conversely, in the second round, you bringing in a guy like Ewers and really seeing athleticism, talking to him, have him get up on that whiteboard, you see what kind of brain he has. He could be your quarterback of the future that you got in the second round because you did the work on him. You got to bring all of these guys in because you got to do the work. Like, you can watch as much film as you can, right? But sometimes meeting somebody in person does everything that you need to kind of bring that decision home, right? You don't know how the draft's going to go. You don't know who's going to get taken off the board. You don't know how their board looks. He might be their third quarterback on the board, but he might be the 10th best player on their board, right? But if they get to the second round and all the other 10 guys are gone and he's there, then it would make sense that they would probably take a flyer and draft him. And I get it. I understand that. So I have no problem with them bringing Quentin Ewers in. And I know I pronounce his name a little weird, so I'm sorry, y'all. Hey, Bok Choy, let me tell you something. If I said the Rams, it's a brain fart. Excuse my head, but not my heart. It's the Chargers. You get the F up out of here with your crap. Bok Choy, F is wrong with you. Look, are you masquerading with this new name? You are Matthew Pohl. I remember that face anywhere. The F up out of here with your crap. Mr. Pohl, masquerading with some stupid name. We know who you are. Yeah, but no. Look, the top 30 visits to me, man, are very enlightening, man. It shows me that the Raiders are leaving no stone unturned. You know what I'm saying? And it shows me that, you know, we don't have tunnel vision. And I really think that there are a lot of these guys in this draft, man, that a lot of us like. That, to me, it shows you from who they're bringing in, and take a look at, you know, the brass and the Raiders like some of these guys too. There hasn't been one guy that they've brought in where I looked at it and was like, man, this guy, I mean, I don't know what's up with this guy, but this guy's terrible. You know, it's guys like Hairston. Guys like Hairston, bro. Yo, this is a guy that normally we will be screaming from the freaking mountaintops to bring in, bro. We be screaming from the mountaintops for them to bring this guy in or to draft him, and the Raiders wouldn't even take a flyer on him. Maxwell Hairston, man. I mean, this kid, 21 years old. I mean, beast, man. Beast. Absolute beast, man. I mean, he is looking to me, you know, like a guy that Pete Carroll might not bring in based off of the size. I mean, he's 5'11", you know, 183 pounds, right? But his athletic score is off the charts, man. It's off the charts, man. He is, you know, by NFL.com, they have him ranked as, from an athletic standpoint, as the 8th ranked corner in this draft, right? I mean, guy runs a 4.28 40-yard dash, 1.5 second 10-yard split, 39.5-inch vertical, 10.9 broad jump, man. I mean, the guy can fly, man. And, you know, listen, man, he's a slender guy, slender outside corner. You know, impressive ball skills, man. He's capable of playing zone, man. I mean, he is a kid that I would like the Raiders to bring, and I'm glad that they're taking a flyer and they're leaving no stone unturned, man. What's up, man? He said, wasted with the pink. Oh, man, get the F up out of here, man. What are you talking about? There was some LL Cool J stuff. The F up out of here, man. The F up out of here. But, guys, look, man, I'm just glad we get into the draft season. A lot of the rumors and the nonsense is kind of starting to subside, man. You know, I've been hearing some rumors, you know, and I heard today, matter of fact, on Graph Show, you know, I pulled up, was watching, and there's an article out there about, you know, a bold move, a bold trade up in a mock draft, man. And look, I'm going to read this. This comes from Newsweek. You know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of guys are doing their mock drafts and stuff like that. And I don't really talk about it a whole lot. But this one is from Rhett Lewis of NFL.com. He has traded up from 6th overall to 2nd overall with Cleveland to take Travis Hunter. And he said, and I quote, "I've never made a mock draft before this one, but we've never seen a player like Hunter who registers as the draft's top prospect at both receiver and cornerback. It's just so happened that the two positions that the Raiders' biggest need. So they're aggressively trying to move up, secure 2 for the pick," Lewis said with the pick. He said the Browns then select Austin Gentry, the top running back prospect and Heisman runner-up, with the 6th pick. And if the Browns were to trade down, selecting Shedeur Sanders, like it would seem would make the most sense, but people do not like to do that in the mock. Sanders instead falls to the Saints at 9th overall, and it seems to be the top landing spot for Sanders currently. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. To me, Travis Hunter, to a lot of people, is the number 1 guy in the draft, right? I'd be ecstatic if we wound up with Travis Hunter. But look, I'm going to tell you guys something, man. This whole, you know, pipe dream, I don't really think that it's going to happen, because Jimmy Haslam, the owner of the Browns, loves Travis Hunter. And you know, I'm going to find an article, but look, you have some owners who love to act like they're not meddling. I'm going to give you an example, like the New York Giants owners, right? The Maras, the Tisches. They act like they don't meddle, but they do, right? You have some owners who are very hands-off, you know, the Robert Krafts of the world. But Then you have guys like Jimmy Haslam. Now, Jimmy Haslam came from the ownership group of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to tell you something, man. He is a guy who has been looking to make the Browns happen. He's been trying to make fetch happen for a long time. He's been trying to make the Browns relevant ever since he bought the Browns. I mean, this is a guy who, drafted Johnny Manziel for the clout. He is a guy who, kind of lauded Baker Mayfield and anointed him something before it was his time. Jimmy Haslam is trying to make the Browns relevant. And this seems like a Browns move, even though the Browns probably should be taking a quarterback. And if we're being honest, the Browns should probably take a quarterback. The Browns need Shedeur Sanders, right? They really do. And you guys know why. I mean, they have an untenable contract with Deshaun Watson. They paid a lot of that down so they can get him in the rear view and get him off their roster. But they need a quarterback. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to the draft next year, right? Like, that's why I don't think that the Giants are going to take a quarterback, because if you look at what's going on and you look at the way that this year's quarterbacks are viewed as opposed to the ones next year, I think what the Giants are going to do is they're going to take BPA. They're going to take BPA. They're going to allow things to materialize. They might take a quarterback in the second or third round. I have the Giants taking Jalen Milroe in the second round, very early in the second round. He'd be the perfect kind of guy to take, because you could take him and kind of put him out on the field and let him make some things happen with his legs. And basically, the Giants are bad enough. They'll be picking at the top of the draft. They would have moved on from Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. They'd be bringing in a whole new regime. And with that new regime, they'd be on the same timeline. They'd be able to pick their new quarterback in one of the best years to have a high pick. So, when I look at this draft, man, there are certain teams, man, like the Browns, that they can pick their quarterback this year. They have a decent roster, and they'd be able to rebuild. And they'd be able to, the world will be their oyster next year, especially if they're bad next year. I'm going to be honest with you, man. My guy, Graf, man, he said, Detroit Buddha knows the draft is almost here. He's attacking me and wastes his channel. Oh, that is a fact. Detroit Buddha is afoot. I've seen him lurking. It's unbelievable, man. Somebody better like my man Dog said, somebody better give Detroit Buddha an offering or something, sacrifice something up in here, man. But yeah, look, man, just like I said, man. So the Travis Hunter thing is interesting, man, for me, because I'm looking at it from this prism, right? If there was a way that the Raiders could move up to number 2, like gentlemen, I'd be okay with it. I don't want the Raiders sacrificing draft capital for the next few years for a guy like Travis Hunter, because if I'm being honest with you, Travis Hunter scares the hell out of me. He really does, because you don't know what you're getting when you draft him. I don't necessarily know whether Travis Hunter is the best receiver in this class. I don't know how good of a receiver he can be. I was watching him at his pro day, and it was some things that I didn't like, when he was running routes. Now, as a corner, does he do a lot of spectacular things as a corner? Yes, the hell he does. But also, Hunter gives up a lot of big plays. He does, and every corner gives up big plays. But hear me out. I don't know whether Hunter, at the weight that he is going to come into the National Football League and dominate at corner. I am under the estimation that Travis Hunter has to go to the right situation, because if he doesn't, he is a guy who really could have real big bust potential, man. And I know you guys are going to say you are crazy. He could have big bust potential. He could. And I'm going to tell you why. Because him not having a defined position, for me as a guy, like if I'm the guy making that call, scares the living crap out of me. It really does. It really does, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted, man. My guy LA Crash Dog is in the place. People who don't want Genty because of the O-line have to realize we will have him for at least 3 years, plenty of time to improve the O-line. Crash Dog, this the thing, man. the offensive line is not what people think. Like, I think after Jackson Powers Johnson got switched over to center and they were playing a lot more Jordan Meredith, this line was pretty good. And not Hunter, but Colton Miller got a lot healthier. This team, from offensive line standpoint, got a lot better. I'm not saying that they're the Hogs or anything like that, but they were definitely, one of the better offensive units towards the second half of the season. And this is the thing for people who don't want to draft a guy like Genty, man. Look, man, when you start talking about a guy like Genty, it reminds me of Brock Bowers last year, right? This is a guy that most people in most years would think that you never have a chance to draft at 6. You would think a guy that broke as many records or came as close to breaking as many records as he did would be gone by now, right? To me, I am not going to try to justify taking players that are that talented. Like even with Hunter, right? It would scare me, but if he was there for me, I would take him. Because, listen, there's not a person in the country who's going to criticize you if it doesn't work out in 3 years. Because everyone thought the same thing. Everyone thought that this guy had superstar written all over him. Everybody thought that. So nobody's going to see taking guys like Genty and taking guys like Travis Hunter at the top of the draft is not the equivalent of taking a guy like Clelin Ferrell. It's not the equivalent, bro. I'm sorry. So for me, if I'm the GM, that's a worry-free pick for me. I don't think that you will be evaluated harshly if one of them guys didn't work out. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, am I wrong? Now, the thing with Hunter is you got to decide whether or not he's a wide receiver or a corner. To think that he's going to play every snap of every game is asinine. It's ridiculous, right? Like when you got the NFL transferring and going to 17 games and possibly going to an 18th game, because look, they are trying to get rid of that last preseason game. And we're so football starved in this country. We love the game of football. We will take as much football as we possibly can. As we possibly can. So for me, right? For me, I look at it from this prism. It's going to be kind of like the NBA in a couple of years in the NFL. I think that snap count is going to be big. I think that there's going to be, them resting players, and when you get a guy like Hunter, man, you got to sit up there. You got to wonder, man, how many snaps can this guy play? Is he like a starting cornerback, and then at wide receiver he'll be like a gadget guy or like a slot receiver, or is he a starting wide receiver and you bring Hunter in as a nickel or something like that in certain packages to get him some rest? Like let me ask you guys something. How do you see Hunter? Is he a corner or is he a wide receiver? But I don't think that what you're going to get from Hunter is the Shohei Ohtani of football. I think you're going to get something kind of close to that, but it's going to be more of a tapered down role. And even with Shohei Ohtani at this point in his career, him having issues with his shoulder and throwing shoulder, he's really just batting more. He's not really pitching. So just I would like to know, do you guys think he's going to be the Shohei Ohtani of football? Let me get back to the super, man. My guy Dark City in the place, man. Appreciate you for the $2 smackaroonie. Should we trade Michael Mayer? Bro, I think the price is right. I'm not just – look, I don't want to have recency bias with some of these guys. Like, I'm not looking to get rid of Michael Mayer just for the sake of getting rid of him, bro. Like, it's good to have depth. It's good to have two guys at one position that are viable options, right? There are injuries in this sport. I hope that's not a case. But, yeah, I'm not in favor of getting rid of Michael Mayer for nothing. He hasn't proved a lot in the NFL, but the talent level is so high, bro. I need to see that through. I need to see that through in silver and black, right? And if I'm getting rid of him, it will probably be for another player, a starting level player, or me moving up in the draft. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Yo, my guy, the Graphinator. Genty should be the pick, period. Chip and Pete want to run the rock, get the most proven workhorse running back, and run that bitch. And grab, bro, I think we as Raider fans are overcomplicating this. Like, people are saying you gotta build the trenches, you gotta build the trenches. Oh my God, you gotta draft the lineman. Bro, there's not one lineman in this draft, bro, that I'm looking at and I'm saying, man, this guy is a stud. He's gonna be an all-pro. That's it. That's all. I'm not seeing that. Look, I'm not seeing any Jonathan Ognens in this draft. I ain't seeing any Tony Basellis. I'm not seeing any Trent Williams in this draft. I'm not seeing that. No Jake Longs. I'm not seeing that with these guys, bro. I am seeing guys that could be pretty good. Will Campbell looks like he has the game tape. He looks like he could be pretty good. Could be pretty good. But he also has future guard written all over him. And do I want to take that at 6? He could be an all-pro guard, right? But do I want to take a guy that I'm paying tackle money to as a rookie and having to move his position over at guard? That means I made a mistake at that point. Even a guy like Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton is a hell of a guard in the system he was in last year. He did great. But he was drafted to be the left tackle of the New York Jets. And now he's a guard for somebody else making peanuts and not on your football team. And that's not what I want. I much rather go for the superstar and superstar running back. And if it doesn't work out, bro, nobody's going to fault you for that. Yo, my God, Graphic Raider, man. Again, draft hunter at wide receiver. The corner goes down with an injury. You have a corner number 1, not rocket science. But see, this is the thing, Graph. What do you have in him as a wide receiver? Like, is he wide receiver number 1? I mean, is he? Because I think he's a better corner, bro. I think he's a better corner. It's just me personally, bro. I do. My guy Esdot, in college, he got one shoulder to the chest and almost unalived on the field. He is a wide receiver. Esdot, you chubby chasing bastard. You get the F up out of here with your crap. My God, I just want a Raiders Shador jersey. So fuck it, run it. Bro, look, man, it's crazy, man, how bro, this year is for the first time in a long time, bro. There's about 8 to 10 players, bro, that if the Raiders wound up with, I would not be mad at all. I would not be mad at all. And yo, look, him winning the Biletnikoff is great. It's great, right? But did you look at this year's wide receiver draft and you can see why he won the Biletnikoff, Dan? There's not a whole hell of a lot of bona fide wide receiver talent coming out this year. I mean, if I'm being honest, right? I mean, everything is really, really weird. Everything's up in the air, man. Yo, I'm just glad that the Raiders do not have to stress about quarterback. But guess what? If they were to stress about quarterback, right, and they were going to bring somebody in, I'm hoping that they address a need and then they go second round, they bring a quarterback. And if they're going to go quarterback in the second round, look, man, or third, let's see. I want to talk about this gentleman, man. Will Campbell, Will Howard. They said John Gruden compares Will Howard to a former NFL MVP, man. And I'm going to read some of this, right? I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm not going to bore you. You guys want to go on over to Gru's channel and check him out, Because you're a big deal. You're a big dual threat quarterback, aren't you? Gruden told Howard. That's the MVP of the league. He's a big dual threat too, huh? How the hell people not like you as the #1 quarterback in the draft, Gruden said? You're like a young Josh Allen, man. Other thing I love about you, man, make a note. No step throws. Might be the best thing you do at Ohio State. Great under fire, man. It's a first-round pick. Big time. It's one of those big time, one of the most big time throws I've seen, man. Wait, hold on. Wait. We got to stop the cam. We got to stop the cam here, bro. Got to stop the cam. What the hell's going on here? All right, that's it, man. You know what, man? Look, man. It's it's right, man. It's right, man. I think I'm going to read this article. Hey, man, you're a big dual threat quarterback, aren't you? It's the MVP of the league. He's a big dual threat. How the hell don't people like you as the #1 quarterback in the draft? You're like a young Josh Allen. Other thing I love about you, man, make a note. No step throws. This might be the best thing you do at Ohio State. It's great under fire, man. That is a first-round pick, man. It's big time. Yeah, Will Howard's obsessed with football, man. Like his enthusiasm, his passion for the game. He loves it. It's contagious, man. You see why he's a winner, man. He has the size, he has the strength, the mobility, experience. He's a great communicator. He's a great, quick-minded guy. He has all the talent you need. Somebody's going to be real happy if they draft this guy on draft day, man. All right. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I had to read it as grow. Shout out to almost 600 of y'all in the room. You're wasting with your brother wasted, man. Yo, I don't know why they just do it like that for the first. Listen, anytime there's any Gruden content, I gotta read it just like John Gruden, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my guy Big Mike Rader, man. Rick Linderholm. Dallas is going to give a king's ransom for our 6th pick. They're desperate to get Genty in their backfield. I mean, bro, look, it almost makes too much sense to happen, right? It almost makes too much sense to happen, right? Like, look, Genty is a hometown kid. Look, I personally don't believe that they're going to do that. I think you know, the Dallas Cowboys would a draft like this with so many running backs, they could bring in Omarion. They can stay right where they are and bring in Omarion Hampton. They don't really need to do that, man. Like this is not like, you know. And look, do I think there's a line of demarcation between Genty and the rest of these guys? Yeah, right. I didn't used to think that, but the more investigation, the more I look, there is. The only thing that I'll say to you is this, man. I don't think the Dallas Cowboys can afford to take a running back in the first round. I know it seems like they probably should, but I don't think the Cowboys can afford to. You know, look, the Cowboys are in a tough situation, man. You know, they paid Dak Prescott a king's ransom. They paid CeeDee Lamb. They have to pay Micah Parsons if he's going to stay, right? If he's going to go run away and somehow wind up on the Eagles or something like that, right? So they have a lot of challenges, and they don't really have the talent on that roster. So now you're in a situation where them moving up, they need all of those picks. I think the one team that might move up, and they're probably not going to play ball with us, is probably going to be the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears could possibly move up to like Jacksonville or something like that. You know, that's who I worry. I worry about the Chicago Bears more than anybody, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You waste with your brother wasted, yo. Shout out to my guy, man. Quadre Shamsuddin. My dog, where you been, bro? Clinch fist. If Hunter drops, cornerback, third down slot. Mason, if he drops, QB from Louisville, second round. Plenty of productive running backs in this draft. Bro, Quadre, I feel you, bro, but I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, the Raiders need to get this pick right, bro. They need to get it right. I don't see any way that Genty is not successful on the NFL level. I just don't see it. That low center of gravity, the power he runs with, the speed, the vision he has, the fact that he can catch, he's a willing blocker. I don't see any way that he's not going to be successful. This is a guy that you have to take because you know you've nailed it. My guy, UA Mel with the $2 slap-a-rooney. What do you think Monroe being invited to the draft? I mean, I think if I was Jalen Milroe, I probably would stay home. I wouldn't want to be that guy that was the story of the draft, sitting and waiting. But I understand why they invited him to the draft. I get it. Because, look, this is a weak quarterback draft. And when you start having, certain teams that are quarterback needy, you have guys that are teams that were former playoff teams like the 49ers. Like, I could see the 49ers taking Jalen Milroe, especially with Kyle Shanahan. I could see that all day long. So, look, man, it stands to reason. You know what I mean? But do I think he's going to get taken in the first round? No. Do I think he's going to take an early second? Yeah. My guy DeMokes with a $5 bomb. I tell you what, man. When she Spider, your Y2 banana, knock on wood if you're with me, Groot. Probably. Get the F up. It's a family show. Get up out of here with your crap, DeMokes. Again, DeMokes, do not go to the gulags, man. Now, guys, let me ask you a question, right? I want to get back to the top 30 visits, man. This is a free-wielding show today, man. Another guy that the Raiders are bringing in is Jackson Dart, man. So Jackson Dart, I think, is the one guy that I haven't heard a whole lot about. I have not heard a whole lot about Jackson Dart, right? I've heard the Jets were a little interested, but, they went and got Justin Fields, right? But let me ask you guys a question, man. What do you guys think about Jackson Dart being a guy that the Raiders take at 6? There are a lot of people that wonder, and they say, hey, man, Shador with the relationship with Brady, and, he's been wanting to come in. But what would you guys think about the Raiders taking a flyer on him, man? I mean, look, for me, bro, I'd be pissed, right? But I could see Jackson Dart being taken, not at 6, but I could see Jackson Dart being taken, late in the first round, or maybe another team wanting to get up, a quarterback needy team wanting to get up where we are to take Dart. I could see it, man. I mean, look, bro, I'm gonna be real. This might be one of the weakest quarterback drafts, but I don't think all of these guys are going to be bust at the next level. I think Dart, Howard, and Shador Sanders are going to do well in the National Football League. I think that if Milroe goes to a situation like San Francisco or something like that, I think Milroe can do very, very well. I really, really do, man. Soup, what's up, Soup? What if they take him at 6 and he ends up being a real deal? But we'll see. Somebody got the ball. Hey, man. I could see that. I could also see him. I could see Pittsburgh taking Jackson Dart too. I mean, Pittsburgh seems like they're running out of they running out of choices, man. So let me ask you guys a question in the chat, man. What do you guys think about Dart as a prospect, man? What do you guys have him ranked as your quarterbacks from your quarterbacks? Do you guys have Jackson Dart ranked in your top 3, 4? Where do you guys have Jackson Dart ranked? See, my guy. If Dart is available in the second round, sure. If not, please don't take him. That dude for be a 6th pick. I hate Dart. 3rd round pick. Pittsburgh may not fill the QB this year. Get the F up out of here, dog. Top 3. Easy. I could see Dart being the best QB in this draft. Wouldn't be surprised. Right as that. Steelers are being held hostage by Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Steelers are stupid for that. You let 2 guys walk right out of the building, bro. My guy, Gobble. Yo, bro. That name is some nasty effing work, bro. Never read that effing name. You need to take the late great Frank White off your avatar with that effing name. Dart is the second round QB at best. You wildin', bro. My guy, commitment. Dart is my number one QB in this draft. Yo, it's bro. The Jackson Dart narrative, bro, and that's why I wanted to ask y'all. It's so up and down, bro. I hear so many things about people taking him coming in for top 30 visits. Would you? Wouldn't you, bro? Look, man. This draft, man, I can't wait, man. I really, really, really can't wait, man. Like, I haven't been this excited for a draft in a long freaking time, man. A long time. In a long time, man. But yeah, man, listen. We're gonna get back into it too, man. Hold up, man. Hold up. I was trying to bring something up here too that I lost. Now, we're just going through the articles today, man. We going through the articles. We going through the news. You know how we do over here, Raider Nation Unlimited. You know how we do over here. But yeah, man. It's crazy, man. My guy, who the fan? He goes, Dart reminds me of the non-hype Bo Nix was getting last year. Yeah, nah, that's a fact. I think with Dart, man, Dart's a guy that's got to go to the right situation, right? I mean, everybody does, but I think he's a guy who needs a situation tailor-made for him, kind of like Bo Nix has with the Denver Broncos. My guy S. Dot, I'll tell you right now, the Steelers want to draft Sanders first and Milroe next. They might, bro. They might. Maybe Pittsburgh might get aggressive and try to move up, man. I think 6 is such a sweet spot because once you start seeing things materialize out of the top 5, that's when you try to get some motion to move up. Hey, I'm freezing. Wait, hold on. Let me turn my resolution down, yo. I don't even know how to do that shit. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, give me a sec. I'm freezing. My bad. You guys talk to Coach Gruden for a little bit, man. You turn my res down. How we looking now, y'all? We still freezing? Are we still freezing, man? Yeah, Giovanni B. Yeah, that was like the worst draft ever, man. The Eric Fisher, Luke Jokel draft, man, that was a terrible freaking draft, man. We good to go? Yo, Anthony, get the F up out of here with yo, you know what? Anthony, you about to be blocked. Frank, you too. Oh, bitch ass Frank. We got over 600 in the room. Get wasted what your brother wasted, yo. You were never freezing. Yeah, I was cool, right? Yo, you got. Wait, hold up. Big Mike, streamer must have had a gout today. But get the F up. You always talk about the effing gout. Big Mike. The F up out of here, man. So, yo, let's get to it, though, yo. I mean, I'm going to be real with you, man. I'm sitting up here, and I was doing, tomorrow we're going to do a whole mock draft. We're going to do a complete draft, right? And it's got my brain thinking about the things that are going to happen around this draft. It's got my brain thinking about, who we're going to take, who other teams are going to take around us, man. And, I was thinking, man, what position do you guys think? Excuse me. What position do you guys think the Raiders are in need of most, man? I mean, I like at first, man, I was saying you got to build from the inside out, trenches, right? But I'm kind of really, if I'm being honest, since we got a quarterback, I'm very, very locked in on this running back room, man. I am very, very locked in on this running back room, man. To me, either trade down, whatever. But I am under the estimation that the Raiders definitely need to take a running back early, man, in the first 2 picks, even. And in the top 3 picks, I think the Raiders are gonna have to go and add some wide receiver help, man. Now, there's some guys that I kind of had in mind, man. I think by the time, if the Raiders don't go in the first round, Matthew Golden is going to be gone. Matthew Golden, even though he's like 5'11", man, he runs 4.29. He's a guy that I pray never goes to the Chiefs. A lot of people got to mock the Chiefs. Sucks. I pray he doesn't go there. He's going to be the next Tyreek Hill if he goes there. The guy's a beast, right? But there's another well-built wide receiver that a lot of people say have like attitude problems, but I think he would work well with the Raiders. He's a yak monster. Luther Burden, man, from Missouri, man. He's explosive. He's a terrific route runner, man. And he's one of those guys who get separation just based off of his talent, juking guys. He's not the fastest guy in the world, man, but he is definitely a guy that I want the Raiders to take a flyer on. And Dante Thornton, man, from Tennessee, is a guy that, really didn't get a lot of, he didn't get a lot of touches, man. He didn't get a lot of balls thrown his way. You know what I'm saying? But this guy is a specimen. He's one of those guys that if there's any talent anywhere in that body, hopefully our coaching staff will bring it out, man. He's the tallest prospect in the entire draft, man. And 4.3 speed, great acceleration. And the difference with him out of all these other guys is that he's one of them guys that are a projection problem, man. You throw the ball of places that he can get to that other people just can't, man. Now, the only thing with Thornton is he's going to require like some coaching and some refinement when it comes to his skills, running the route tree, being a receiver. And he's going to need to kind of build upon the speed and the athletic talent that he has. But Thornton is one of those guys, man, having a Jakobi Meyers in the building. I would love for the Raiders to take a flyer on, man. Yo, my guy, S.A. Big Dog, man. So it's the graphic effect. Nah, yeah, man. Look, bro, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. Shit kind of actually throwing me off, yo. Yeah, man. Look, I'm looking at I like a lot of the Colorado wide receivers late, man. I do. I do, man. Look, Jimmy Horn Jr. is a guy that, has some problems holding on to the football, but Jimmy Horn is a guy I would love for the Raiders to take a flyer on, man. I would love it, man. Would love it. Now, let me ask you guys a question, man. If Shador's there at 6, what do you guys think about the Raiders taking him and stashing him? I'm just asking, what do you guys think about that? Because, look, man, I'd have no problem with that either. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I would have no problem with that. Yeah, my guy, UA Mel, y'all scared to go through the history and see how bad drafting a running back is in the first round. UA Mel, I'm not like, bro, what history are you talking about? Like, bro, the thing for me is I don't get scared off by conventional wisdom, bro. Like, there are times where it is bad to draft a running back in the first round. There are other times when there are certain running backs where it's not bad. So, like, if we wind up with Adrian Peterson, that kind of production, is it really a bad pick? Is it really a bad pick? If you wind up with LaDainian Tomlinson, is it really a bad pick? If you wind up with Derrick Henry, is it a bad pick? I just need to know, bro. We've been arguing about this all week, bro. Let me ask you a question, bro. Who do you want the Raiders to take at 6? Let's take Genty out of it. Who do you want them to take? Look, I think the linemen in this draft are mid, bro. I think they're mid. I'm sorry. Who they taking? If Hunter's not there, none of the quarterbacks are there, who are they taking, UA? I'm asking for you. I'm asking for a friend. Who we taking, bro? Yo, Armin Mimbu is okay, bro. Where do you have Armin Mimbu ranked as a prospect? Like, bro, Armin Mimbu scares the living daylights out of me. He scares the day. At 6, like, bro, we're picking in the teams. Yeah. But Armin Mimbu scares the living crap out of me, bro. He does, man. I mean, look, man. Look. This is the thing. Mimbu is, Missouri kid, man. Look, man, the kid, went to his in-state team, stay home. He's a 4-star recruit. Big athletic guy. Nice kick step. He's nimble. He possesses some great athleticism. The combine kind of highlighted that. I think Armin Mimbu's star kind of rose at the combine. That scares the hell out of me, bro. Hasn't played a lot of football. He started to develop. He started playing his best ball down the stretch in 2024. Like, it's not like he's put it on tape for 3 years like Will Campbell, bro. I mean, that's just me, man. He's still a raw guy, man. Doesn't have great feet. Does not have great feet, man. His efficiency numbers were padded at Missouri too, because Missouri throws these little quick passes and quick slants and stuff like that. I am not, look, I'm not a big Armin Mimbu guy. I look, I watched some highlights and then I start watching tape on, bro, and I like the kid. I was like, oh, I love this kid because he's so big and athletic. But the thing is, I noticed their quarterback is getting that football out of his hands fast as hell, bro. And look, you talk about Jahad Campbell, S. Dot, not Jahad Ward, and when you talk about Will Campbell getting his comeuppance against Jahad Campbell, there's equally as many reps where Will Campbell is getting the best of Jahad. And bro, that's gonna happen when you play in the SEC. That shows me that Will is battle tested, bro. I want a guy that's battle tested. Look, I'm always partial to players that come out of the SEC, man. Bro, I believe the Raiders need to establish this thing and to kick this thing off. I think the Raiders this offseason have played it safe, right? They've brought in guys who are talented guys that they don't have a lot vested in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. Coughing. But this is the thing, man, for me, right? And look, we know Missouri is in the SEC too, right? But the thing is that Mimbu, I haven't seen Mimbu playing in 2022. Like, I'm talking about Will Campbell has started in the SEC a long time, bro. We know Missouri's the SEC, bro. We know that. But what I'm saying is I don't see a whole lot of snaps from Armin Mimbu before 2024. I just personally think that, and this is my personal opinion, the Raiders need to kind of take a big swing. The Raiders haven't really taken that big swing, man. The Raiders have not taken that big swing this offseason, bro. They've gone out, they've gotten some guys that are safe. They went out and got a quarterback that is safe. But when I'm talking about the SEC competition, I'm talking about, Will Campbell has been out there starting from a while ago, bro. Like, Mimbu is a guy that just, and bro, sometimes, it's crazy. Since everybody is kind of like did this realignment, you forget. Sometimes I forget that Missouri is in the SEC. I'm not gonna lie, right? But the thing, being in LSU, right, and Will Campbell, and me watching him, right, and this is a guy I've heard of and saw play before this year. Bro, this is a dude who's going up against Alabama every week. I'm not saying Mimbu's not, but what I'm saying is this, bro. Will Campbell, to me, starting for like 3 years, bro, and balling the way he has, bro, you can't do this and say that this guy now all of a sudden is the second lineman in this draft. Will Campbell, really, before the season started, was the consensus guy. And Banks, too, from Texas. Like, I get it. Mimbu as an athletic specimen, bro, I get it, bro. Sometimes I just believe that Mimbu's star has risen with the combine, bro. So, bro, I mean, and look, you could take that approach, bro. But for me, right, the 1 year wonder scared the hell out of me. And taking linemen in the draft like this scare me. None of these guys are guys that you can look at and you can definitively tell me that you could put them at left tackle for the next 10 years and be okay with it. None of these guys are, bro. None of these guys are like the Trent Williams. Like, I guess I just go back, right? And I'm thinking none of these guys are the kind of tackles that I know that, if I draft this guy, he's it. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we got Kolton Miller still in his rock. Kolton Miller's still one of the better players on this team, bro. I know we got to replace him eventually, but if we got Kolton Miller, right? But I got Mozart and Sincere McCormick at running back, bro, and I was one of the 3 worst rushing teams in the league. I'm going to address my running back room, bro. And you're saying he's a lesser prospect based off. I know that as a pro, Kolton Miller has been solid. He's been one of the better left tackles in his league for a long time. I don't want to do it, bro. You could definitely put Booker at guard and be content with that. Yeah, but I'm not taking Booker and putting him at guard at 6. I thought you were talking about Banks. My bad. But I'm not doing, like, bro, I'm not taking no guard at 6, man. I'm sorry. We talk about this at nauseam. I'm not doing it, yo. I'm talking about Banks. Bro, I'm not taking, if Banks, and bro, Banks played well at Texas, bro. But I'm not taking none of these dudes at 6, bro. I'm shooting for the fences and I'm taking the superstar, bro. Bro, when it happened, everybody wanted somebody. Nobody, it's not the sexy thing to take a lineman, bro. And now Kolton Miller, years later, was one of the best picks that we've ever picked. But at the end of the day, like Reggie said, you gotta protect your quarterback, right? And it makes sense for me. You gotta protect. If you draft a young quarterback, you give him money, you gotta protect him. I believe you can get better value later in the draft if you're gonna take one of these guys at guard. I have a lot of faith in DJ Glaze, man. I feel like really where the deficiencies on his line is at guard. I believe you can address the guard position after 6. Like it's a long draft. You can get other players, bro. Yo, I don't even care. I don't even care if Gentry's not here for 8 years. As long as he's here for the 5 he's here and he does well, that's the only thing I care about. It's the only thing I care about. You have to protect your quarterback, your running backs, your guards. Had our running backs hurt and our quarterbacks hurt. And UA, bro, I respect your opinion, bro. UA, I respect it. I respect it, bro. I understand where you coming from, bro. I respect it. I respect it, bro. I respect it. I just like the thing for me, bro. Like when you start talking about these guys, it's just, bro. This draft is some of these guys are so like it's real, like it's real weird, man. There's only like 4 or 5 guys in this draft that are guys where you're like, yo, this guy, you know, as a prospect for his position is a guy that you like. Look, I like Jahad Campbell, you know, Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty, you know, Travis Hunter is a guy that I kind of, you know, I get a little leery with Travis, man. I do. I'm not gonna lie. Jahdae Barron is a guy that I have no doubts is going to be great at the next level. I think if you get a healthy Will Johnson, bro, like you're talking about a guy that really in 2023 was looking like baby Charles Woodson and shit, man. You know, so the thing is, what kind of player am I getting? What kind of player am I? If I'm getting a healthy player, then Will Johnson makes sense. Will Johnson is a top 10 pick if he's 100% healthy, right? If we're being honest, I'd have no problem with that, right? But I think Will Johnson, if healthy, he's one of the cleanest picks you can have, right? But for me, right, these guards, I'm not these guards, but these tackles, some of these tackles, man, the jury is out on these guys. A lot of these guys are giving me Leatherwood vibes. Colton is still here, and where would we be without him? We saw for a few weeks, and it didn't look good. And I feel that, UA. And I think they need to get a young guy on the roster that can kind of come in and spell Colton. I respect it, man. I respect it. Now, somebody had asked me, man, what do I think about Jalon Walker, man? The thing with Jalon Walker, man, is that they got him listed as a linebacker. Love the kid. Think he's super, super athletic. I mean, the guy's a beast, man. He's a beast, 6'1" guy. Yo, the thing with him is, man, he's damn good in zone coverage, man. Great in zone coverage, man. You know, he has pretty good feet for a linebacker too, man. He has a great first step. He's explosive off the edge, so he can be a great pass rusher. He's got that like bend that I was talking about that Tyree Wilson doesn't really have. Explosive guy, man. You know, he's just a God-given, natural-born pass rusher, right? So you could put him in a lot of different schemes. You know, you can pretty much keep this kid on the field every play, right? But the thing is that he's still developing, right? And do we really need to swing that high on that kind of a defensive player that you kind of a tweener? You don't know what you're going to kind of do with him. And the thing is, in college, he didn't really play a whole lot, man. I mean, he only had 11 starts at the collegiate level, man. So the thing is, do I want to take a fly on a guy I'm not really sure where I'm going to play him, right? And then he didn't really play a lot either. He didn't play a lot of ball in college, man. I'm avoiding Walker if I'm the Raiders. That's not the kind of pick we need. Yeah, I like him, but bro, I'm not rolling the dice on that kid. He's only played. It's not like, he's only played 11 games, bro. He's only played 11 games, bro. Yeah, Caps, my bad, bro. Wait, Raider Rebel with a nice little tidbit here, man. When hit behind the line of scrimmage last year, 357 times, Genty only turned that into 1,200 plus yards. Only player in history close to that is Jonathan Taylor with 961 yards. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. This is a guy that has a low center of gravity who's very, very hard to bring down. My guy MEZBX. How many 5'8" running backs have dominated? Barry, Maurice Jones, Drew. If you pick a running back at 6, he better dump. But so 5'8", 5'9", right? He's 5'9". Emmitt Smith, 5'9". Like, bro, what's to me the difference between being 5'9" and 5'10" and being a running back has very, very little bearing on me. It's more so their build. How much do they weigh? How big are the legs and stuff like that? That's more so what my concern is with my running backs. Their height is not a problem. It's not like they're playing quarterback and they just see over the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's pretty much how I see it, man. I mean, and Pete Carroll needs that hammer, bro. He needs that guy that's going to go out there and knock shit out, man. Napoleon Kaufman didn't dominate the league, but what could have been? How he stayed healthy was not very tall. A lot of running, bro. It's a lot more running backs. They're in that 5'10" and 5'8" round that are great than a lot of people. Height is not really my determining factor for my running backs. It's really the stature, bro. Hey, yo, and yo, I salute the UA, man. I appreciate his opinion. That's why I always bring it up, yo. That's why I always bring it up, man. And guys are talking about Run DMC. Y'all don't disrespect Run DMC, bro. Fidel Torres, we don't need a replacement for Tyree Wilson. Malcolm Koonce is here. He ain't gonna play. Like, listen, if he don't get it together, he gonna have to leave it alone. He gonna be out of here. Yeah, and it's the thing, man. It's more so about impact, yo. Whomever they take in the first round, I just hope that we can cross that off, and that's a starter on this roster, man. Yo, no height, bro. Listen, we're not acting like Genty is freaking 5'4", bro. Height, bro. So you mean to tell me there's a huge difference between a guy being 5'9" and 5'10" or 5'11"? Most running backs are between 5'11" and 5'9", bro. Seriously, bro. Seriously, bro. Like, come on, yo. You got to get the F up out of here with this crap, MX. Walter Payton was 5'10". Emmitt Smith, 5'9", just like Genty. Barry Sanders, 5'8". LaDainian Tomlinson, 5'10". You know what I mean? LaDainian Tomlinson, 5'10". Curtis Martin, 5'10". Like, bro, come on, man. Come on, bro. There's a lot of great running backs that are 5'10", bro. 5'8", 5'9". Doug Martin from Tampa Bay was 5'9" guy. 5'9" guy. Frank Gore, one of the great running backs in history, 5'9". We've done this before, bro. We've done this on the show. D'Angelo Williams back in the day, 5'9". Jerick McKinnon, 5'9". Now, I ain't talking about Hall of Fame, but just good running backs, man. Shady McCoy, 5'10". Like, come on, bro. Chris Johnson, 5'10". Bro, it's not the height, bro. It's really, yo, how big, like how big they are, how muscular they are, how powerful they are. I mean, bro, like there's not too many Derrick Henrys running around. It's not too many Jim Browns. It's not too many O.J. Simpsons. Like, really, to be honest with you, Derrick Henry, they probably, if you see Derrick Henry and you see that guy walking the streets, bro, he looked like a damn defensive end. Yo, Bucky Irvin did a great job last year. Work done. There's a lot of tremendous running backs that are not that tall, bro. That low center of gravity really, really makes a difference, bro. Yo, some people say Frank Gore's 5'9", some people say 5'10". It's an inch. Who gives a shit? And bro, you got guys that are like Adrian Peterson at 6 foot, 6'1". OJ 6 foot, 6'1". Listen, Anthony, you sick freak. I know every inch matters to you. You sick freak. Better stay the F up out of the F up out of here, Anthony. You sick freak. Yo, my guy, Keith Pardini. Y'all need to get over this too short running backs. The waste is right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. So, bro, are you trying to tell me Bucky Irvin is the prospect that Austin Genty is? Look, and I love Jukins. I remember when Jukins was at Ole Miss. Loved the guy. But I'm saying, for the Raiders, bro, in a draft like this, in the first round, I'm not taking no Armin Mimbu over Genty, bro. I'm not taking one of these wide receivers. I might take a corner if Will Johnson is healthy. I might even take a quarterback. You're not talking about the same level of prospect, bro. When you talk about when Darren Sproles was taken, Darren Sproles is a complimentary piece. This is a featured factor back, bro. These guys are featured backs. Even Mojo Drew got to Jacksonville, was not the featured guy initially, bro. Y'all tripping, bro. Height, Big Mike. Height literally doesn't matter at running back. Best running back of all time. 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". Very sensitive. Emmitt Smith. No, Emmitt Smith ain't 5. Emmitt Smith is 5'9", bro. And, bro, I don't mind taking a running back in the first round for us. I don't mind it. Like, bro, I'm not looking to go to the Super Bowl next year, bro, or this year. I would love that. But I need the Raiders to get back to respectability, bro. Like I need for the Raiders to be able to be 3rd and 3 and us to really get a running back that we know could possibly pick it up. Or a guy that can have 14, 1,500 yards. A guy that can make people respect our play action pass. I need the Raiders to get back to respectability first. First. Y'all tripping, bro. Y'all tripping, man. But look, man. Look, and if they take Jahdae Barron or Will Johnson in the first, look, with Johnson, all things being equal, if Johnson is healthy, take him. I'm cool on Scatterboo. I've never been big on Cam Scatterboo. That's Mike and Graff and him. I wasn't big on Cam Scatterboo. I'm taking Cam Scatterboo maybe in the 4th round. I mean, Anthony's up here being some weirdo, about to be blocked again. People say you're not taking no time. Yo, pause, right? you tripping, bro. Look, I'm not mad if we take Will Johnson. I'm not mad if we take Jahdae Barron. I'm not mad at that. I'm okay with that. My guy, Raider Mason. Only reason to take a running back at 6 if he's him. Genty is him. And That's pretty much my logic, bro. That's something that you haven't seen in the longest. Get the F up out of here. The F up out of here, McGee's Raiders. But, yo, guys, listen. I think it's time to wheel the train into the tracks. I have some technical difficulties today. The show did not start off the way I wanted it to. We got almost 700 in the room. Get wasted what your brother wasted, right? Love every single one of y'all, man. M-Easy, BX. We are going to have to agree to disagree, man. Get the F up out of here. But, guys, look. I'd be mad if we take Will Johnson or Barron. I'm not the biggest fan of cornerbacks, but that's just me. A lot of times, yo, and before I get out of here, Mike, you right. A lot of times, man, cornerbacks don't, it's rare you get guys that come out and you get the Champ Baileys, the C. Woods of the world, right? A lot of times, a lot of these corners, when you start trying to craft the guy to draft, they don't get it together in their first stop, and it's a little shaky from here and there. But Will Johnson was a stud, man, in 2023. He was definitely a stud. Shutdown corner, lockdown corner. I would have no problem with it. Yeah, no, Raider Fool Chris. I heard about that. Yeah, Cam Scatterboo was talking smack about Geno Smith, man. He was. He's talking about Geno so he can get the F up out of here. But that's not why I'm not taking Cam Scatterboo. You know what I'm saying? That's not why I'm not taking him, bro. That's nothing to do with it. I'm not taking Cam Scatterboo because, bro, like I just don't think that he's all that. I don't think he's all that. And he's not a guy I'm taking high like that. I take Cam Scatterboo maybe in the 4th round. I'm just not a big Cam Scatterboo guy. But guys, look, man. It's time for me to pull the train to the train tracks. Gotta go tap in with the fam. We're gonna be here tomorrow. Me and Graf got the Graf and Wasted show. See you guys tomorrow. Look, some technical difficulties. We will get it straightened out tomorrow. Appreciate you guys who stayed over here. Hey, do me a favor. I want to thank you guys for whoever's been watching, who can ever hear my voice, whoever sent a super, whoever sent the comment, whoever watches. I appreciate every single one of y'all. What I need y'all to do is hit that subscribe button. We in the race to 14K. We got to get there by the end of the week. Y'all have a freaking great night. We will be doing a full mock draft tomorrow, man. Much love, y'all. Go watch the replay if you missed it, man. Run this up, share it out to all social media, yo. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a freaking good night, man. I'm out of here.